breaking free from the tyranny of should. Someone has coined a little word called necessity to describe the mentality of people who are conformists and conformists. Whenever you act against the standards of must and should, you are trapped in necessity. As a prominent psychiatrist once pointed out, various so-called should standards inevitably cause mental stress. And the more one tries to conform to these should standards, the more stress one suffers. In addition, because these shoulds are externally imposed, they always affect human relationship. Or should standards dominant in your life? Do you feel that you should be kind to your coworkers, that you should take care of your wife, that you should help your children, that you should work hard? Do you blame yourself if you don't live up to the standards in one area, or do you feel mentally pressured to do so? Of course, you may not have created these should standards yourself. If they are someone else's invention and you just borrow them, then you have fallen into necessity. In fact, there are as many boxes of does as there are boxes of don'ts, such as don't be rude, don't lose your temper, don't be confused, don't be childish, don't be shameless, don't be depressed, don't be abrupt and rude, and so on. You should not be rude. However, you don't have to mentally torture yourself. It is normal not to be able to remain calm or to understand people well. If you want to, you can not worry about your face at all. No one is going to grade you, and you will not be penalized for not saying and doing what others want. Not to mention that forcing yourself to do what you don't want to do is certainly not sustainable. Therefore, any rules and regulations will put you under mental pressure because you will not be able to act in accordance with such misguided demands. It is not your undignified, inconsiderate, or frivolous behavior that causes mental pressure, but the various rules and regulations imposed on you from outside. It would take a thick book to list all the various necessary behaviors. The following are just a few of the most common behaviors in our society. Think everything has to be put away in an organized way. Otherwise, you will feel uncomfortable, which is a kind of excessive neatness and cleanliness. Constantly asking people, what should I wear? It's as if only someone else can determine an appropriate outfit. White pants and light-colored clothing should only be worn in the summer, and sweaters and woolen clothing should only be worn in the winter. There are many other seasonal rules in your life. In the book Hawaii, author James Michener describes the arrival of New Englanders in Hawaii unfamiliar with the tropical climate. In October, although the temperature was still 30 degrees, out of habit, they took out their winter clothes and spent 6 uncomfortable months in heavy tweeds. Why did they do this? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. You may blindly follow the opinions of fashion critics and always wear trendy clothes because you can't be different after all. Series always decide what to drink according to them all. White wine for fish, chicken and duck, and red wine for beef. You can't choose your own drinks. You're completely bound by other people's rules. Complaining about others when things go wrong. It's their fault. We wouldn't have been late if it wasn't for her. Don't blame me, he did it. When someone gets married, you feel compelled to attend the wedding or give a gift, even when you don't want to. When someone invites you, you always feel like you can't not be at the wedding. You may be tired of giving gifts, but you have to go through the motions because it's the norm. On the other hand, you attend funerals against your will because everyone thinks you should. You must show your sorrow and respect by attending the formal ceremony to show that you are reasonable. Participate in religious activities you dislike, even though you don't believe in God, because others expect you to do so. You give titles to those who serve you, thus placing them in a position of superiority over you. What do you call your dentist? If you call him doctor, is that really just a professional title? Would you call someone Carpenter Jones or Plumber Smith? If you call him that out of respect for him or his position, why do you think he is above you? You paid him to serve you, so why should he get a title and in turn be able to call you by your first name? First, go to bed when it's time, regardless of whether you feel sleepy or not. Having sex in only 1 or 2 positions that you are comfortable with, or having to make sure that all conditions are met, such as the children are asleep, you are not tired, the lights are off, you are in your own bed, and so on. The division of labor in daily life is based on traditional customs. The woman cleans the pots and pans, and the man goes out to take out the garbage. Housework is the wife's business and the husband's in the field. The boy sweeps the floor and the girl cleans the windows. Most blindly upholding house rules that do not apply, e.g., asking permission from the family before leaving the table, asking everyone to eat together, going to bed at the end of the day, etc. Obeying signs and bulletin boards in various places without questioning whether they make sense. No noise, no noise, no noise, and no noise. No noise, no entry, etc. Never question any of the bulletin boards or even consider whether they should be there. Signs are made by people and people make mistakes. When you start a family, you go to your mother's every Sunday for dinner, which you don't really want to do. However, it is a tradition and you have to keep it up even though everyone, including your mom, doesn't like it. When you read a book, you always read the whole thing word for word from the first page, even if half of the book is irrelevant. Or you read a book halfway through, even if you're not interested in it. Your rule is if you're halfway through a book, you must finish it. A woman should never initiate a date with a man, because after all, it is the man who should initiate the date. Never call your boyfriend, open doors for him, pay for his bills, or follow a lot of other traditions that don't really make sense. Sending postcards to friends and family while on vacation, while at the same time loathing the practice. You send postcards because that's what people want you to do, and that's what you do all the time. You're obsessed with getting good grades in school, or you're asking your children to do so. Studying hard is not about enrichment, but about getting that final diploma. Always asking, is he right for me? And always confusedly seeking the right person. Stay with your partner wherever you go, as it should be. However, at some point, the two of you may want to go to different places and do different things. Go to the book for the answers to everything, for there is a rule for everything. Whether it's a pamphlet for knowledge or a list of rules telling you to do this or that, accept it without analysis. Does this dress fit? Is this hat, this automobile, this piece of furniture, this university, this bottle of salad oil, this food, this book, this job, etc., all appropriate? The desire to find the right fit for everything often leads to attaches great importance to awards, medals, decorations, titles, and other symbols of honor, and values them more than you value your own accomplishments. Always saying, I could never be as great as someone, applauding with the rest of the audience in the theater, even if you didn't enjoy a particular show. Tipping in a restaurant, even if you are not satisfied with the service. Every win or loss of a city team drives you crazy, and the success or failure of an athlete always has to resonate within you.